using percussion in the beginning of a song, especially if it's a slow song or it's a worship song, and how I like to use layers and how layering different sounds, going from just the song starts and it's slow and just doing something like that into eventually going into a pattern is a lot like, and I made a statement that it's a lot like a conversation. You meet somebody on the sidewalk or you meet somebody in this grocery store for the first time, you have different layers of your conversation. First, you're getting to know each other. You introduce yourself. And then as you find more about each other, you begin to open up a little bit more perhaps. And then as the relationship deepens, so does the conversation. Songs are no different. And as a percussionist, when you have so many different types of instruments and sounds, and sometimes we use the word colors interchangeably there, when you have so many different colors, you can also layer the song like a conversation. So going deeper and deeper until you're eventually into a very intimate rhythmic pattern. Whereas before you're just kind of open and, adding some fills here and shakers there. And we're going to demonstrate that in song. So when the song's beginning, I like to have a percussion tray somewhere nearby so that I can get to my percussion very fast. Sometimes it doesn't work out because I'll still end up putting the stuff around me and it gets lost anyway. But I like to have it right where it's near me, so if I need it right at that point, then I can go to it. Now, what I like to do in the beginning, if the song is just in the beginning, and it's a very slow song, say it's a worship song, it's a meditation, it's an instrumental song, and the song's going, I might just kind of almost do like a stereo fill where I'll go from left to right, up and down, or in place, and I'll just... And notice that I start with a fade in. I'm doing this manually with my hands, my body, thinking about the sound. And then I carefully decay out. Instead of just going. Okay? And then just all of a sudden stopping. I'm still counting whatever time signature or tempo the song is in, being careful that I don't add extra unwanted sounds, rather. And I made a statement in the last clinic that I did that it's kind of like if you have a married couple and they have an intimate moment, whether it's a conversation or anything else, and then all of a sudden the phone rings or some other distraction or interruption. That's what this is like. The percussion, especially ambient percussion, adds a lot of depth and color and imagination for the audience listening and the musicians in the atmosphere. But if we just put it down, everything we're doing is making sound. Or if all of a sudden we just stop, then it doesn't have the same effect as... So it's like a follow-through like in golf, okay? So just bearing that and keeping that in mind. You don't have to rush. We're taking our time, but at the same time having initiative. But taking our time moving, the transition is very important because it's an intimate moment, okay? So ambient percussion is like that. Sometimes I'll do that where I have a shaker, and I'm still counting in my mind. So if the song is 1, 2, 3, 4, you notice I still went 1, 2, 3, 4, and out. Even though this wasn't in 4/4 or 6/8 or whatever time signature or a straight pattern like this, it's still held within a certain time. I'm being creative. I'm not limiting myself, but it's still within a certain space. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And it's subconscious, but I'm paying attention to the song. And I'm dying out, and it could still, and also when I'm coming in, I could still come in on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Just not as strong as 1, 2. It might be a fade in. Okay? The same thing holds for if we want to use the wood block. Since I'm using my hands to pick up different instruments in the beginning, I can also use, instead of picking up a stick, I could save time and use a softer sound,